And I do have a live goal, y'all, so make sure y'all help me reach it. Okay, cool. So like a fair amount of y'all are saying that you have watched Saturdays. Okay, so let's discuss how I booked the role of Saturdays and how like I came to be Simone. So this was 2020 and we were like in the pandemic and everything like that. Stuff was like moving slow. There weren't like too many auditions, but I did get this audition. And fun fact, everybody really auditioned for the role of Paris before they were like picked out to be like which character they were. So we all auditioned with the same script and we all auditioned for Paris. Long story short, I ended up, it was like, since it wasn't in person because it was COVID, we had like to do a self-tape and everything like that. And so with the self-tape, I really took advantage of self-tapes back then because like I was like, I don't like it, let's do it over, right? I'm that type of person. I want to get it perfect. I want to make sure that it's good. I want to make sure that it's straight and everything. So I'm like, let's do it again. So I did it a couple times, submitted my best one or whatever, and later on, maybe like the following week, I had got notice that I got a callback for it. And the callback for that audition was not a self-tape again. It was like going on Zoom with like the casting directors and everything like that. So I was like, oh, okay, we going on Zoom. So like, you know, like they actually see me. This is like in person or whatever. So I was like, all right, let's tighten it up. The script was the same as last time, so that was good. Made sure I hit all my points or whatever. When I got on the Zoom, I was like, yes, like I've been in person, I've been in rooms and stuff like this before, but it's like it doesn't matter how many times that you're in the room. It's like it's always gonna be like I'm kind of nervous, you know, like that kind of feel. So I was a little nervous or whatever, but you know, I was just always my bubbly self. And I did it. I did the first scene, the second scene once, and they didn't have any notes for me, which was like kind of weird. So I was like, okay, I hope they was filming it or something like that, you know? They didn't have notes. Like usually casting directors say, oh, okay, let me see it this way, or can you yada, yada, yada. And typically that's not necessarily like a bad thing. It's just seeing if you can take direction. And this casting director did not do this. So I was like, oh, okay, alrighty. Well, I didn't walk out of the room. I was still like in my living room or whatever because it was COVID. I literally turned off the Zoom and I was like, okay, I felt good about it. But like I was still like just a little nervous about it because I was like, I don't know like what the vibe was. Like I couldn't really feel the vibe. So anyway, I was just like, okay, cool. I feel like I did my best. Let me just go on with it. Called my manager. We talked about it for a little bit and then yada, yada, yada. All of this is taking place late 2020. I want to say maybe October, right? Maybe October of 2020. And so, anyway, what happened next? Next was I had got it was sort of testing for the show, right? So I tested for the show and everything like that. And like, there's different stages of auditioning. So it's like the initial audition, and then there's callbacks. There's like chemistry reads and producer sessions and testing. So I lied. I did the chemistry read actually for it. Producer session for it. I did that and walked in. And it was actually with the producer of the show and the showrunner. He's the same person, Mr. Norman Vance. Awesome, amazing, loved him so much. And he was just super chill. I did the scene. He was like, okay, cool. Now, like, can we see it this way? Yada, yada, yada. He gave me some direction. It was pretty chill. Felt super comfortable. I was like, okay, like, I feel like I had it in the park, you know? I was like, this is dope. And someone said they want to see my nails. These are my nails. They just like have like little pearls on them. They're super cute. If the people who just joined, I'm talking about booking the role of Saturdays. And comment below if you watch Saturdays, if you like Saturdays. Comment, y'all. But yeah, basically just talking about like the whole experience of Saturdays, how I got it, and like filming and stuff like that. And so this producer session went good. Walked out of the room. He was like, all right, cool. Next up was like actually, so it wasn't necessarily like a test for it. It was like a chemistry read that sort of like was both like a test and a chemistry read, right? You can watch Saturdays on Disney Plus. So yeah. But so I did the chemistry read. I was brought in with Paris, the character Paris, and basically we did our thing, but it was kind of weird how it happened because we didn't necessarily have our Roxy yet. So this is deep. A lot of you guys don't know. Well, you did watch Roxy. So, but Roxy was the main character, one of the main characters, one of the three amigos at first, right? So we didn't have our Roxy yet. So it was me and Danielle, and we were like sort of filling in to like audition for the other girls. And long story short, we found our Roxy, and this all sort of took place, I want to say like February of 2021. So wait, actually, go back. Before I found out that I even officially got the role, they made me wait through Thanksgiving break and winter break while I was like in school or whatever, and did not even just tell me. So it was like a really long process. That part was like really long. But anyway, found out I got the role, yada. And then that's when we started looking for our Roxy. So once we got our Roxy, we was like, okay, we got the role, we got everything. And it was just super easy breezy from there. And what we did was we started doing skating lessons because it was a skating show in in LA, where I live, so we were local. It was me, Danielle, who played Paris. It was London, it was Derek, and it was Paris's mom and dad, right? Who were all at like the lessons in LA. I knew how to skate prior to the show, so like I was comfortable, but I definitely did like harness my skills while I was like actually in the works of like learning like the routines and everything like that. But anyway, basically, so we did this for, I want to say, it was a good month or so of like actually, practicing skating and like going over stuff like that in the beginning before we actually started shooting. And meanwhile, at the same time, I was still shooting Upshaws. So I would literally go from shooting Upshaws and like hurrying over to my skate lessons for Saturdays. Like, good thing that it wasn't like far from each other or anything like that. But so yeah, like I was working like almost 2 jobs at like the same time, which I thought was like super cool. Thank you so much for the hearts. But yeah, so I was like working 2 jobs at the same time. I was like, oh, okay, it's giving like, oh. Anyway, so where am I? Y'all gotta think. Where did I leave off at? Skate rehearsals. Okay, yes, I got it. Skate rehearsals. So after we did like a month or so of the skate rehearsals and just like getting the feel of skating and like getting to know everyone, basically, that's also what it was too, was like just saying like, hey, these are the people that you're finna be spending a lot of time with, so yada. Then it was time to like, okay, like we're filming the show. Sorry, this is the pilot that I'm talking about, not the actual show yet. So we filmed the pilot in New Orleans, right? So we had flew out to New Orleans after we did like a month or so of like skate training and everything. And we were there for a month and a half, I want to say. And let me get started with this. Like, New Orleans is such a great place, but just being there for like so long was kind of crazy because like I was like, oh, okay, so like what other types of food do they have besides crawfish? And like literally that's it, you know? Like they only had like oysters and crawfish and like seafood like that. Like it was good, it was bomb, don't get me wrong, but it was just like a certain amount of time where I was like, okay, I need some food now. So anyway, the pilot was smooth. It took like a month and a half, I said. And it was a good introduction to the show. But we had like, okay, so when you guys think of the show Saturdays now, you think of Paris, you think of Simone, and you think of Ari. We didn't have Ari back then. We had Roxy. And so we shot with all of them and everything like that. And then like we flew back, and we left, when did we leave? We left, I want to say around March-ish of 2021 to go film the pilot. Came back, and then I had like that whole summer and everything like that, and was just like chilling, you know, waiting to see if it got picked up or anything like that. And it was like a long like waiting game. I'm talking about my show Saturdays for the people who just joined. I'm talking about the audition process and just like actually like the pilot and filming the show and getting to like where people actually see it on TV now. So it was like a long waiting process of just seeing if the show got picked up by Disney. And when it finally did, we were all like, hey, we was like on group chats, we was texting each other, just so happy. Because like Saturdays is such a good show. Like for real, like maybe y'all should just like catch up and like watch Saturdays again, you know? Anyway, so yeah, we were like, it finally got picked up. I can't say which month it got picked up because I totally forgot. But it was in 2021, and then we went from filming the pilot in March of 2021 to actually saying, okay, we're going to shoot the actual series of Saturdays. We're going to film in Chicago. And they kind of like changed the storyline a little bit of the show. Like at first, like the show was like a little bit deeper, but they made it like a, you know, lots more funny this go round. And it was just kind of different, but it was still super cute, and I loved the project. Anyway, so we went from March of 2021 going to New Orleans to film the pilot, and then finally on April 11th, I want to say, we flew to Chicago, my hometown, which is another reason why I love the show, to actually film the whole entire series. And so we did not have the character Roxy anymore. We had Ari, which was played by Peyton. So basically we were there from, and this is 2022 that I'm talking about now. We were there from April 11th to like September 13th. A long time. That was like that was the whole summer break. It was just like spring break, summer break, everything. And like I was like a couple days late to school. Like my first year of high school, I was a couple days late. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, what am I doing in this space? And yada yada yada. Okay, yes, I'm back on. So, we had 15 episodes of Saturdays, and what we did for filming the show, we kind of did like a block schedule, but we filmed 2 episodes at a time. So, let's say one day of shooting could have been like scene 2 of episode 15, and then the next scene that we did might have been like scene 5 of episode 3, you know? So we did like 2 episodes in like a block shooting. So I had to like literally actually learn like 2 whole scripts at the same time. So that was pretty interesting, definitely. And then, but it wasn't hard though. It wasn't necessarily hard. And let me see, what else can I talk about this? Oh, let's talk about living in Chicago and just that whole thing of like being back home. That was like my favorite part, my most memorable part of Saturdays was just like being home, because like, yes, we shot on the weekdays, but on the weekends, I was able to just come back home and just like see family and everything like that. So I thought that was like super cool. Just having like a really good balance, because I hadn't been home in a minute, right? And when we shot Saturdays, we had like a set teacher and everything like that. And oh, this was another thing that was like kind of big for the show. So in the same day, we might have been shooting and having like skate rehearsal and skate training, because we had like lots of choreography and routines and everything like that. We shot on the south side of Chicago at CineSpace, for the people who are wondering. And that's where I'm from, the south side of Chicago. So we had like lots of routines and just things that we had to remember and just brushing up on skills and everything like that. And so that was like a lot of hard work. Like I was in tip-top shape at that time. I was just like working and working and working, not just like in front of the screen, but like kind of behind the scene too, because we were doing like skating lessons and everything like that. And that really like helped us get closer and learn who we all were. And, you know, it's pretty cool. And then, let's see. Every morning, I'd have to wake up at like, let's say 7 or something like that. Get to set. It wasn't like where we lived, where we stayed, wasn't like really far from set. So that was pretty ideal. Go to set, do a couple scenes, and because I'm a minor and I am in high school, I had to like do school on set. So that was pretty interesting, but it was like really easy to manage. Like a lot of people ask me like how that is, and it's not that bad, to be honest with you. And so that was like almost what like a day really consisted of, was just filming, like alternating between filming and then going to school, having lunch, then filming, alternating, going to school. And then once my day was over, I was like pretty beat, I'm not gonna lie to you. So like I'd take me a nap, maybe do some extra schoolwork at home, and then like wake up and do it all again the next day. And then sometimes on the weekends we'd have, well, almost like most Saturdays we had like skate training as well. But it wasn't for like a long time, maybe just like 2 or 3 hours, something like that. So it wasn't too bad, but it was still like, woo, can't catch a break, you know? But like, it was still so much fun though. Where is this going? What's going on? What's going on with this face, y'all? Because it's like I'm paying attention to my face, but then at the same time, not really. What y'all talking about? How's my name pronounced? Yes, Daria. That's my name. Anyway, so, yeah, filming the show was like, it was a lot of hard work, but it was definitely worth it, like at the end result, because it was just super cute. And I feel like the Black community really needed that. And like these girls came up to me, like little girls came up to me like after the show. They were just like, oh, like I love the show, you're my favorite character, yada yada yada. Like the girls, I can resonate with like each one, and like that was like super dope to just witness. But once I finally got back home around September, after we had filmed the show, you know, I dived straight into high school and everything like that. And at my high school, I was like the new kid, but I was like the even newer kid, because I was like 2 weeks late to like the first day of school. So that was kind of weird. I just popped up one day and was like, hey, and they were just like, oh, okay, like who is this girl? I'm like, I'm sorry, it's nice to meet you. But it was pretty cool. And then basically after, it was like almost another waiting game of sorts, because we had to wait for the show to come out and wait for our premiere of the show and everything like that. And so this was, I'm still in 2022 right now, but like after like we had to wait for everything and like make sure that everything was like finalized for the show. First, because we had like animation in the show, so that took longer too. Sorry, I gotta blow these eyelashes. That took a little bit longer too. So our premiere of the show was around January, February, March, April, May. Okay, around that time, like April, May, June-ish of Saturdays. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, it was around that time because I was like just about to like sort of get out of school. Our premiere, okay, like my fondest memory of Saturdays, besides like actually being in Chicago, was the premiere day, because it was just so much fun. It was just so cute. I started that day like my makeup artist had came over and my stylist came over. They got me ready and blinged out. I took the bombest pictures that day, and I had like this little baby bluish turquoise-ish dress on. It was like little shorts underneath, but like it was fashionable. It was super cute, and like that was like my favorite thing. I just felt so fly. And they had a car sent over so they can drive us to the premiere, which was like on the Disney lot. And I just thought it was so cute. I was like, this is a super cute day. When I finally got there, everything was decorated and like it was like to the nines, like for real. I loved it. And it was like they had actual skaters there just skating around. There was a bunch of balloons, signs. I saw my face up there. I was like, okay, that's super cute. And once we hit the red carpet first, took pictures, had interviews on the red carpet, and we had finally went into the premiere, watched two episodes, I want to say, of the show. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a really good show. And like everyone was just loving it in the theater, just cackling when they were supposed to. I was like, okay, this is it. This is super cool. Afterwards, it was like basically a party. So that was cool. We had music. There was definitely food. The skaters were still going. Everybody had popped out, so that was pretty cool because it was like my friends from like other shows, they had came to the premieres. I was like hanging with them. Different influencers were there. Marseille was there, and it was definitely an event. It was an event. It was turned up. It was everything it was supposed to be. And so I would definitely say like that is like one of my favorite memories from the show. Y'all, let me be quiet so I can put this lash on. Okay, cool. Cause I will. Did y'all see that? One of my pearls came off of my nails. But I really have to like focus about this lash because I feel like I'll stab myself in the eye. Anyway, so but yeah, so after the premiere, the show finally came out. I had watched the show for the first time. Like some of my friends came over my house and we watched the show, and it was just like so cute. And I was like, oh my god, like this is so dope. And so yeah, that was basically how I booked the role of Saturdays and just like being on set and everything like that. And yeah, any questions, y'all? Any questions at all? Oh, what's going on? Who's nosy? Okay, y'all are so funny. Anyway, so if y'all like that story time, definitely make sure to comment and run my likes up. I want to see if y'all liked it. What do y'all think of the story times? Because like usually when I get on live, like I'm doing my makeup and everything like that, and I'm like, okay, let's do truth or dare or something like among the lines of that. But I was like, today I was like, no, like I don't want to do that. I want to like actually like tell you guys something